everybody. I am a registered dietitian and an herbalist and a wild food guide. So today I'm going to be talking about some of our edible weeds in eating the neighborhood. So I'll get started. So I just found this in the Sierra Club magazine this month is Eat the Invaders, and it includes garlic mustard and some other plants and animals that we can eat that are invasive. So I'm going to talk about some weeds that are considered problematic weeds and that are really good edibles and medicinals. This is burdock, greater burdock, you probably all know it. The root of this plant is called gobo in Japanese. It's sold, and it can be pickled and eaten raw and shredded and sauteed. It's really delicious. And this is the seed head, which you all know. The seeds in this plant are actually really healing for acne and psoriasis and skin conditions. And the leaf stems are also edible in this plant. And let's see, the flowering stalks can be peeled and eaten as well. So it's one of the plants that has like the most nutritional value in it, like a lot of calories and good food. That's just a beautiful picture, I think, of a burdock seed. So burdock is everywhere. It's in parks. It's on, in farm fields. Farmers would be very happy to have people come and remove their burdock. So there's plentiful supply of it. This you probably all recognize as dandelion. Dandelion is one of the first spring greens that comes up that we can eat. The flowers are fully edible, so you can pick those flowers and sprinkle them on a salad. The bright yellow color means it's full of good phytonutrients. And one of my favorite ways to eat those is to fritter them and have them with like maple syrup. The greens are really delicious at different stages. I've found that in the shade and in kind of moist conditions, they're most sweet. You can put them in salads, you can put them on pizza, lasagna, soup. You can eat them raw, you can cook them. Sometimes they're bitter, but the bitter component is really good for us, for our digestion. And the root is also used mostly medicinally for liver support, and it's a mild diuretic, and it's also, it can be made into a bitter to take before you eat, just to help you digest your food. And one of my favorite ways to eat dandelions is to boil them and then have them with garlic and maple syrup and balsamic vinegar. So Japanese knotweed, you've probably all heard of. It's on the big invasive removal list. It's also a really, really good medicine. And I would love to start seeing us at least use the knotweed instead of just getting rid of most of it. So this is knotweed in flower. It grows really prolifically along stream beds. You may have seen it as you're driving along in the summertime. It really can help stabilize banks. It was brought to England in the 1800s specifically to help control erosion. Obviously, it's an invasive and it's on the list of removal. These are the young sprouts. When they're just like a foot tall, they're really good edibles. They taste like a tangy asparagus or like rhubarb. And you can use them like to make like a rhubarb strawberry pie. You can have them as a side dish. You don't want to eat them, the shoots, after they're taller than about a foot. And you also want to make sure they're grown in a place that's not, doesn't have stuff in it that you won't eat. So see, they're sold as a specialty food item. Some specialty food items we see in the farmer's market, like leeks, are endangered, and also fiddleheads are starting to be over-harvested. And so I would love to see things that are actually invasives be the ones that we sell a lot. So I'm going to propose several times that we have a festival with some of these invasives. So here's a thing I found for a knotweed festival. I think it would be great if people, were out harvesting and then learning how to use this as medicine, because specifically for Lyme disease, this is one of the biggest healing plants for Lyme disease. Now we have a group of Boy Scouts doing a removal of garlic mustard. Garlic mustard came in pretty heavily like 6 or 7 years ago, and now it's coming into all the woodlands that are being fractionated. It comes in from the edges, and it's actually a really good food. So these leaves have a garlicky, savory flavor. Sometimes they're sweeter, sometimes they're a little more bitter. The bitterness we're not used to, because a lot of people are not used to wild foods, but it's really good for our digestion. They're great like raw on sandwiches. You can make pesto. You can put it in soup. You can eat it at any stage. The flowers are even edible. The seed pods are even edible. The root It's safe to eat, so there's nothing, no part of it that's not edible. Some parts are stringy. But you just have to taste the leaves at different points to see if you like the flavor of them. So there are places that are starting to have garlic mustard festivals. They're very high in nutrients, higher than kale and the things we pay a lot of good money for. So it would be really great to take advantage of an unending supply of this stuff. Does it look familiar to people? Yeah. So it grows to be about 3 or 4 feet high. Here's someone walking it. This is very similar to what it looks like down at the Intervale when you're walking and see a big stand of garlic mustard and lots of other places. But it's definitely found in places where the woods are cut up by people, and it's coming in. So the seed pods are spicy tasting and can be used to spice up foods as well. So here's a nice poster about a garlic mustard festival, including a cook-off and a pull, and people can learn about how to use it and have fun while they're doing it. So I'd love to see this happen in conjunction with people who are trying to remove some of these invasive plants. And so this is part of a festival, I believe, where they were removing some of them to make things out of them. The one thing about garlic mustard is you really have to be careful when you're removing it, because even if you pick some and throw it down for weeks in the sun, the seed heads will still form seeds and then drop into your garden, so you don't want to move it around and spread more seeds. So if you want to learn about edible wild plants, it's best to go out with a person who can really teach you so you don't end up eating the wrong thing, but it's a wonderful, amazing world of tons of food out there. 70 plants right in my neighborhood that I've found in Burlington. So that's my whole thing. Thank you.